My name is Camille Seaman. I am of the Shinnecock Montaukett people, which is small fishing tribes that are located on the southeastern tip of Long Island in New York. And currently I am a professional photographer. I'm more on the documentary side, which is sort of longer term journalistic projects. So, for example, I spent over 10 years photographing in the Arctic and Antarctic, and then I spent 8 years chasing storms here in the U.S. Well, I mean, most people don't know necessarily that I'm native unless I say so. Because I'm multi-ethnic or multiracial, however you want to categorize me. I'm like a chameleon in that they always wonder. They always say, "What are you?" Growing up, people thought I was Latina or Puerto Rican because I was in New York, and I always had to say no. This is what I am. So, the issues that I've had, I can't say are against me as a Native person, but I would say they're definitely more, I feel it more as a woman, and that's another issue. I'm probably the only woman of color that I know of that has made such an extensive record of the polar regions photographically. When I see panels talking about climate change and showing photos, it's almost always men, all men. So it gets very frustrating that they don't include women more. The thing is, especially what I'm learning in photojournalism as I get older, is part of the reason it's a white man's game is because you have to, on some level, have some sort of inheritance or financial freedom to do this, because it does not pay well. So it's not something that someone, and I, not to say that all people of color are necessarily financially challenged, but we definitely don't have the advantages that so many other people do. And so having the ability or the stability, I should say, especially when you're starting out, of having parents who, you can stash your stuff at, and then you go off to India or Nepal or wherever it is you want to go, or Africa, is not something that a lot of people of color necessarily can afford. It's all or nothing. You're out there. A lot of us are on our own. If we've made that bold decision to sort of step off the reservation or outside of our family or culture, it can be very isolated. And so there isn't that financial cushion or pillow to support you when things get rough. And so I say that to say that I think speaks to why so many photojournalists are white male, and that's and then you add into that the elements of danger, or if you are a person of color, you're potentially can fit in better or stand out more depending on where you are, but you don't have the white privilege that supports you, and it's that blatant. It is really that blatant. I think it's really important to go into this with your eyes open, especially if you're considering conflict or areas that are more challenging security-wise. You need to have exit strategies in place. You need to have communication set up so that if things do go wrong, there are people at home who are going to go to bat for you. um, and it's naive to think anything less.